Okay, so we're talking about square roots. How do we do the square root of 144 p squared? What's up with square roots? Let's talk about square roots for just a minute. I think you guys probably already know. What's the square root of 9? How about we start there? You guys give me some feedback. What's the square root of 9?
3.
And it's 3. Well said. Now, what if somebody was to ask you why? What if a younger person was to say, hey, why? Why is the square root of 9 3? How would you explain it? How would you explain it in a way so that they could then do the square root of 25? You know, that's when you know they've got it, when they can do other ones. So
you need
why?
to find 2 of the same numbers that multiply to equal that number.
There it is. Yeah. We're saying what times what equals 9, and the answer is 3. Yeah. We're basically saying what times itself equals the square root number, the 9, huh? Yeah, 3 times 3 is 9. And so the same way, 5 times 5 is 25. You guys have got it. Right. So then, with that in mind, let's so that's also make sure we're clear on that. Let's do our problem. What's the square root of 144? Well, I don't know if you know that one. You can use your calculator, of course. Just hit the button. It'll come out 12. And then what do you think we do with the p squared? What's the square root of p squared? Well, remember the rule we just said. A square root asks the question, what times its very self is this thing? So what times its very self is p squared? Well, p. P times itself is p squared. So the answer is 12p. And for the next one, it's 3m. Is that making sense? When you square root a p squared or you square root an m squared, it's just regular p or regular m. Because that's the very nature of a square root, right? A square root asks the question, what times itself is this thing? So what times itself will be p squared? Well, p times itself will be p squared. And m times itself, m times m, will be m squared, right? So basically the square root just square roots the number and takes off the 2 power, doesn't it? It square roots the 9 to be 3 and takes off the 2 power. Why? Because m times itself, m times m, is m squared. That's the very thing square roots do. They do it for numbers. They do it for letters. And so there we go.